Hello and welcome to yet another video, and in this video it is something very different than usual because in this video I'll be showing you guys my camera collection. Finally, it's been a very highly requested video to make, and since my cupboard is pretty much full and a lot of cameras are being stacked on top of each other, I can't even fit my main cameras in there anymore, so why not just take everything out and rearrange, and also take this opportunity to just show you guys my camera collection. This is actually most of the cameras that I have right now. I still have some in Thailand and some in Germany, but most of the main cameras are here, and I still use them pretty much almost every now and then. But yes, I do have my main cameras that I use every day, which are here, and also some of the Sony ones as well and Fuji ones as well. So yeah, I have to be very honest with you guys though that I did sell off some of my cameras last year, simply because mid of last year I was moving from Amsterdam to The Hague. That being said, I miss some of the cameras and I wish I didn't sell some of them. And yeah, I'm still waiting for the prices of those cameras to drop because I'm not using them every day, so why not? Might as well wait. And since I'll be moving in a couple of months as well, why not just continue waiting, because I don't need extra weight on the moving part. Anyway, without further ado, let's get into the video. So behind me are actually the cameras that I actually just pulled out of my cupboard, and they're not really arranged in any sort of particular order in terms of like the newest to the oldest or mirrorless to DSLRs. It's just pretty much grouped in brands. Like there's the Nikon, here's the Canon, well Fuji is somewhere up there as well, the Sonys. You can see that most of them are actually Canons, and here are the Canon compact cameras, which I will do a my thought video of, well, a new series coming up on these older compact cameras. And a lot of the film cameras are also here, just pretty much mixed together, whether it's Praktica, Canon, Nikon, and what's the other one? Voigtlander, and also Yashica, things like that. So yeah, they're not really in any particular order, but let me actually take you guys on the tour or actually show you guys. So starting with the compacts, well, some of them are not really compacts. Like this is a really old Nikon Coolpix. A friend traded a compact camera with me way back in 8th grade or 7th grade. These are the really nice Pentax mirrorless cameras. They are the original Pentax Q, and I really love them. That's why I have two of them. They're really nice. This is a really nice compact camera, although dust gets inside really easily, and that's what I really don't like about them. But it's a really powerful Lumix LX100. I used it a lot, well, at least used to use it a lot. Nowadays, well, it just stays at home because I really don't like Panasonic's color science. But here, these are the cameras for the new upcoming series. This is the original PowerShot G1, and yes, it's 3.3 megapixel. And to be honest, it's a really weak camera, and it really makes me appreciate all the technological advancements that came a long way from then, because for example the power zoom here, the lens won't even extend out if there's a lens cap here, because it's just too weak to push out this really simple light lens cap. Whereas with the more modern compact cameras, you know, the motor is just strong enough to just push out anything really. But anyway, moving on, there's the G10, G11, 12, 16, G1X. That's the original G1X, which I really am loving this camera. You have seen this camera before in my what's in my camera bag, I think. Yeah, what I pack during my travel. Anyway, video. Here's a film camera. Well, this roll is pretty much full of film camera, which is the Voigtlander. This is the Vito BL version. There is the light meter, which is broken. This is the second one. The first one I gave to my girlfriend. This is the Nikon EM. I saw a lot of mixed prices with these. So if you look at the secondhand camera stores, they're usually over 100 euros. But for some reason, if you buy them on like eBay or some secondhand marketplaces, they're usually between like 10 to 50 euros. I got this for like 35, I think, either 35 or 27. I'm not sure anymore. Anyway, EOS 500, EOS 500N. These two are really nice cameras, but not as reliable as the EOS 1, which is something that I love. I bought this because it was really cheap. It was like around 20 euros or something, or even less. I'm not sure anymore. I forgot. I know that on eBay it's still like over 100 euros, but I got this at a secondhand place for like under 20 euros, I think. But the reason why I bought this to replace these, not only that because it was cheaper at the time when I found it, but also these were just unreliable when you actually work them really, really hard. So I used to take them out to different photo shoots, and at some point you start seeing like certain shutter curtains, or the shutter just doesn't sync properly when the film was being wound. So you have like the shutter, the film, and part of it is just covered with the shutter curtain. So it's not a full complete film frame, if that makes sense. And this is a camera that I've been wanting to use, but I never really find the reason to use it, because for example, it's always really heavy to carry this camera around, and it's really bulky as well. And if I want to shoot film, there are just so many other alternatives that I have. For example, this one gives me the convenience, and this one, if I'm gonna bring something that's heavy anyway, why not bring a medium format? So I never really got a chance to try this one yet, but I would really love to try out this one. But while we're actually talking about this, I really love this one a lot. It's my most unreliable film camera, but it's actually really worth it. I really love this film camera a lot. This one, I actually love the image quality, well, like the lens quality and everything, but after I bought it off the previous owner, I just couldn't find the right battery to go with this Yashica. So now it's just a camera that I wish I have the batteries for, but it's just so hard to find. Anyway, moving up here, this is a compact film camera, so you actually have to put film in there, and this lens is like a zoom lens, and once you zoom the lens, here's the lever to control the lens, you actually see the zoom effect through the viewfinder, which is something that I find really amazing. This is actually the camera that pops out, which I'm not going to pop it out right now, and that's a really cheap €1 Agfa film camera, large format. Whew. Onto the third row. This is the G1, which is, to be honest, my favorite Lumix Panasonic camera. So I still keep it, but what you don't find here anymore is like the GH3, GH4, G7, things like that. This is the 300D, 350, 400, 1000, 550, 600. All of these cameras you have seen videos of already on my channel. D30, of course, on my channel. 10D, 20D, 30D. I sold the 40D, and unfortunately I haven't found any good quality or good copy of the 40D in a nice condition yet, so 40D is missing from now, but I'm still actively searching for it. But probably after I move I'll get it, because why buy more cameras now when I know I'm gonna move anyway. 50D, 60D, I sold my 70D, 7D, 5D, 5D Mark II, 5D Mark III, 5D Mark IV are sold, and if the price is good, in good condition, I will buy it again for sure, but I'm not in a hurry. The Arsenal 1D, I love this camera so much. The 1D Mark III, 1DS Mark III, oh, another camera that I love. My favorite Canon color science is from this camera right here, is the Canon 1DX original. I love the 1DX Mark II, but the color science is a little bit off for me. It's just, if you're working professionally with the 1DX Mark II, I absolutely highly recommend that camera over this camera, because that camera has a much more robust raw file over this camera. But in terms of like pure color science out of the camera, straight out of the camera, I much prefer the Canon EOS 1DX here. This is such a nice of a camera, like a beast of a camera, that I would highly recommend if you are only looking for like the best, well, subjectively, in my opinion, the best Canon color science that Canon ever made on any camera, the Canon EOS 1DX. Of course, the files are nowhere as robust as, let's say, even the R5 or the R6, which is up there. And talking about the R, here's the R. I really love this camera. This camera pretty much brought a lot of hard work, well, flashbacks of a lot of hard work. It went through a lot of beatings and everything, and I really absolutely love this camera so much. And here's the R6, which is another camera that I really love. So alongside the R, the B camera was the R6, believe it or not, because I love the R color science as well and everything. It was really nice. And the R6, even though it has good resolution as well, but for some reason I just prefer the R, and the feeling of it is just much better in my hands as well. But the R5, even though it's a few millimeters smaller than the R6, but it is still a nice feeling camera, and the files, I just love it out of the out of the R5 over the R6. So it's weird, even though everyone claimed that it's the same color science, for some reason I find it much more pleasant to just go through my images and put my presets on them much easier on the R5 than the R6, but that's just in my opinion. That being said, if you want low light, it's definitely the R6. So yeah, and the 5D Mark II, this was the camera together with the 7D. They were the camera that got me into the filmmaking business back in 10th grade. Yes, when I was about 14 going on 15. So yeah, the 5D Mark II and the 7D. Whew. Now over here, if you watch a lot of my photo shoot videos, yep, these are the cameras that stick up on the pole on my backpack. I have two because one of them corrupted once, and well, not once, like many times, that I actually got scared because I lost so many photo shoots because corrupted camera. Not really corrupted card per se, but like, for example, if you're shooting a lot in Thailand where the weather is hot, and usually if I'm just walking around for like over an hour, these things get so hot that the system pretty much gets fried up and just gets super slow to operate and everything. So yeah, I have two just in case I have to switch. And GoPro Hero 10, you know the story already if you watch my what's in my camera bag video for like during travel, things like that, that this is my second one. I got it when right on the day when the 11 came out, and I was like, oh shoot. Anyway, up here is the Instax. I bought it simply because, well, the cover. I rarely use this. I gave the larger Instax camera away because I moved from Rotterdam to Amsterdam at the time, but hey, I don't use it that often anyway. Here is one of my favorite street camera. I love shooting street photography with this camera so much. It's the GFX 50R, and this lens stays on here at all times. Just like the R5, the lens that actually stays on the R5 the whole time is the 28 to 70 millimeter f2. I love that lens so much. The M50, I love this camera. The RP, which is nice. I also love the color science out of this camera, and it's so tiny, it's so nice, and it's weather sealed. Anyway, here's the 6D original. If you want the budget full frame Canon camera that still delivers great skin tones and much better low light than the 5D Mark II within similar price range, I would highly recommend the 6D. The video is coming up pretty soon, so stay tuned for that. The X-T3, I absolutely love this camera, but my favorite color science from Fuji goes to the X-T2. That being said, Fuji, they have a very strong camp of like loyal color science users, and to be honest, Sony system pretty much overtook the Fuji system for me, because for me Fuji colors is just how do I put it? it's too biased, if that makes sense. So if I just slap my presets onto all of the other system, whether it's the Nikon, whether it's the Sony, whether it's the Canon, they turn out pretty much similarly. But if I put it to Fuji, it feels like Fuji has their own meaning of what yellow is, of what green is, of what cyan is, of what magenta is, and so on and so forth. So it just becomes a very flat, one color kind of filter. So yeah, even if you shoot raw, it's still like that. And I don't know, I never really, I'm never really super pleased of the color science coming out of Fuji. But if you're a huge fan of Fuji, it's still a good system. And to be honest, I do enjoy using their cameras. It's just that if I do use their cameras, that also means I have to spend a lot more time in post processing them, because the colors is like they're always kind of all over the place for me personally. But straight out of the camera, my favorite Fuji color science, even compared to the X-T4 and the X-T5, the X-T2 still outbeats those cameras in my opinion. But that's just subjectively due to my own taste. And there's the X-T1, which I love, XE1 as well. Oh, I love this camera. The A7 IV, the A7C is filming, just to remind you guys again. And then here is the A7R2. I absolutely love this camera so much. The A7 IV can learn a lot about the build quality, because this knob dial broke in half only a few weeks after buying it, and it dropped over there. I was actually just sitting over there, and it dropped from the magazine Geschichte is from Spiegel, and it just dropped from there just onto the sofa, and there was my MacBook Pro just sitting on there, and this knob broke in half. So I really hated that it's really an exposed plastic knob up here, because it's so fragile, and compared to the plastic knob that is usually hidden underneath the cover there. So yeah, I really hate the design of the knobs here. It's for the price, it's just really cheaply built. Come on, Sony, that's a lot of money. Anyway, here's the A7 original. I also love this camera. I don't like how easily dust gets on here, but it's still a nice camera to use, especially for the price that you can find nowadays. This is an infrared camera. It's the A3000. Yeah, you've all seen the video, well, the photo shoot video about this camera, well, from this camera last year. And D90, great camera. The video is already up. D70S, another good budget camera. D100, D200, D600, D300, and D1X. Whew. Well, yep, these are all of my cameras, and yeah. And yeah, these are pretty much all of my cameras that, well, not all, but most of my cameras that I have here, and they're still the cameras that I really enjoy using, even though I use some of them more than the others, like the R5, naturally, the R6, the R, the GFX50R, the A7 IV, the A7C, the A7R2, D600, and quite a few more. But I do use all of them from time to time still, and yeah, I hope this video actually answers some of the requested requests that I've been getting a lot, like whether it's through messages or through comments from different videos about like how many cameras I have, things like that. I still have some large format cameras back at my dad's place in Germany because, well, I just like having cameras in my room wherever I go in general. So there's still some cameras in Thailand as well. But these are just generally my main camera collections that I have right now. Yes, not all of them are here in terms of like, not all of them that I made videos about in the past are actually here, but yeah, in the same time, it's yeah, at least it's better to be honest about the gear that I still currently use, even though some are more seldom than the other. Whew. Oh yeah, other cameras you won't really find are the like the cameras that I gave away, like the EOS M10, the Fuji X-T20, X-T10, things like that. So yeah, they were given away, and yeah, Otherwise, that's it for this video. If you need a free photography guidebook, it's absolutely for free on my website. Just click and download, and I will not bombard you with any newsletter nonsense, nothing. Just, yeah, click and download. You don't need to submit your email address or anything. And if you have any questions, feel free to actually comment down in the comment section down below. Otherwise, I thank you all very much for watching. Stay safe, have fun shooting. Till next time, bye for now. So, yeah, I still can't find space for my main cameras, and I'm still ending up having to stack my cameras on top of other cameras. Anyway, so that was a fail.